Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, especially those tuning in on the radio side here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, those joining us through iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcasts. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're excited to welcome back New York Times bestselling author Soman Chainani to our program. Soman is celebrating his brand new book called Rise of the School for Good and Evil, but he also has some other great things to be proud of as well. We'll get into that, especially something that's coming to Netflix soon that you guys can be able to take a look at. If you guys are not staying connected with Soman, we'll let you guys know where to find him. But Soman, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you again. I really appreciate being back.
I really enjoyed this book, Rise of the School for Good and Evil, Soman, and I think what's so great about this is these characters and these stories you've been able to tell have really captivated readers of all ages. So what has it been like for you, especially this year, to see the way that readers are not only gravitating to these books, but also looking forward to the film as well?
I think I've just been very lucky to have very passionate readers of the series. And so they always want to have a deeper experience of the world, whether that's a movie or, more books or anything like that. And so, it makes it easy as an author when you have the demand of an audience asking for more story, more ways to get involved with it. They're going to get their chance with the movie coming up. They have the chance with this new book that's out. And so the world is steadily expanding bit by bit.
Yeah. Let's talk about that world, though, Soman. When you first created this, do you have any idea that, for one, that the story would explode the way that it has, but also the readership as well?
No, I think for me, it was about telling the most authentic story I could for myself. There was never a desire to, achieve fame or anything like that. I just was focused on could I write a book exactly the way I wanted, with the tone I wanted, with the story I wanted. It was very specific to me and my style. And I was lucky enough to have the freedom and the room to do it. And ultimately, I'm very proud of what came out.
I think what is so great, and we see it in Rise of the School for Good and Evil, and characters especially like Hook, is that there is this conflict that takes place and a choice that has to be made, right? And I think that, again, is what readers see, too, when they think about themselves, about the choices we have, the choice to do good or not. What was it like for you to play with in the world that you created, Soman, to be able to play with how our actions do say not only a lot about us, but also the impact we have on others?
I think the interesting thing about playing with fairy tale characters is we always assume them to be one-dimensional. That they're either going to be all good or all evil. And I think to be able to say, no, that's not how we are in real life and that's not how they are, but instead an amalgamation of actions. So sometimes they're going to, do the right thing, and sometimes they're not. And I think it's more fun to me to read a character that you can't quite put a finger on as either the good guy or the bad guy, So Hook is definitely that. I think you even lead that book having no idea whether he is the villain or hero of the story, So yeah. I think that's what made it fun for me.
And I think some of that is, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, the way it is with life. I think, we all know that good people can do bad things, right? And the other way around, too. And even Hook kind of shows that. I think the other thing that comes across in this book that is fun, so I'm curious about the connection to you, is the idea of the challenge, being excited by the challenge. There's that one passage in the book that talks about, basically the more fierce the battle or the fight, the more they look forward to it. Do you find life like that for you, that you're kind of excited by challenges and adventures that come your way?
I think for me, the interesting thing is, I was thinking about this the other day, that the more difficult a period I'm going through, like a harder sort of stretch, I know that, yes, I'm going to get through it somehow, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to be stronger at the end of it. It's like building a stronger muscle, And so I think for me, it's about being strong enough to get through the hard times and then have that kind of strengthen your resolve for the future. And I think unless you go through hard times, you're never going to discover your true potential.
Yeah, such a great point. I want to talk briefly about the movie, of course. A lot of star power in this. You had tweeted about this, and because you shared the first look, Soman. I want to talk about that. What was it like for you to see that trailer and to see this all coming together?
I mean, I think it's been this kind of dream experience of having a world that people are now going to be able to experience even if they haven't read the books, which usually isn't possible, right? You have to get somebody to read the book in order to experience the story. Now they can at least get a sense of what it's like. And because of that, I think more people will pick up the book. So the movie, in a way, becomes like a big, giant, enormous trailer for the reading experience. And that's, as an author, that's what's important to me.
Such a great point. I love that. I do want to ask you about this series, and we remind our audience somehow how they can stay connected with you and, of course, get the book. When I read Rise of the School for Good and Evil, I think even for people who are just coming into this world you created, they get such, I think, an idea of your storytelling skills, but also of these characters is going to want to make them want more. Is it also what you hope that no matter where people have come in on the journey of your books, that the book that they come in on will be so fascinating to them that they'll want to find out more?
Absolutely. I mean, I wanted to create two entry points, depending on if you wanted to read about sort of a more complex, sophisticated female friendship, or you wanted to begin with something much faster paced and action-packed about two boys being, the bond between two boys. So I wanted those different entry points. And so you can either start with Rise if you want to read about the two kind of twins, dealing with the fact that they have to run this school together, and yet each wants to take the school for themselves. But if either were to kill the other, they would lose their immortality and powers, Or you can read about the two girls who get kidnapped to the school for good and evil, and ultimately their friendship is at risk in addition to their lives, because they're at this highly dangerous, perilous school.
Yeah. It's a lot of great adventure, and we're so excited to be able to speak with you about it. Again, everyone, Soman Chainani has been our guest. He's a New York Times bestselling author of The School for Good and Evil. And, of course, the newest book is Rise of the School for Good and Evil. You can get it through our friends at Amazon.com or through your favorite local bookstore. Soman, a lot of great things that are going on for you. How can our audience best stay connected with you?
Usually on Instagram is probably the best place, Soman C on Instagram. And then my website, evernever.com or somanchainani.com.
All right. Well, again, congratulations to you. Thank you so much for taking out a bit of time for us today, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you so much.
More than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.